Welcome to the SoulScape show, where together we will explore and discover the depth and breadth of your soul to assist you in your evolution to higher consciousness and life abundance. Today our special masterclass is with your host and practical spiritualist, Gabrielle Spencer. She is known for conscious creation for old souls. She is a multidimensional intuitive channel and channels the golden beings of light and higher vibrational beings in healing sessions as an inspirational speaker, author, and practical spiritualist who assists you to raise your vibration to reclaim your inner power, spiritual gifts, and abilities. Gabrielle shares activations, initiations, spiritual tools, clearings, and more to unite your heart, mind, spirit, and soul to allow you to awaken and manifest your soul's highest destiny. Today's masterclass is Heal Soul Separation to Unlock Your Abundance. Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me and all of us today here as an enlightened and expanding community. Together we create the pathway, the openings, and the opportunities to expand our hearts, our minds, and our connections with our soul. Each one of us, as an individual and as a collective, bring radiant vibrations of love and light, together shared and held within our own beings on every level. The more light that we hold and share, the more it is expanded. The more it seeps into every nook and cranny of our being and our existence, our friends, our family, our homes, our animals, and then expands out even more. Think of it like skipping a rock in a pond. The ripple effect, the butterfly effect is all in play all of the time. Filling that effect with love and light is your opportunity, your gift, and the way that you unlock abundance of love and joy and peace, happiness, wealth, all of what we are looking for and know is important in order for us to encompass all of our mastery. We're going to talk about becoming, moving from being a light worker into the master of light, the creator with light that you are. It is a beautiful transformation, and it is the time that we are in. I have never been more excited for what is opening to us each and every day is truly a gift. It is amazing, although sometimes, in all truthfulness and transparency, some days are harder than others in ways that I have never experienced before. But the beauty of this process is not becoming attached to each and every one of those pieces that may not fit in the moment or may feel bad or may cause me to want to retract. I now view it in a completely different way. It is an opportunity to not become attached to how I'm feeling, what's going on, what are my thoughts, what's working, what's not working. It's the opportunity to just view it as if I was a third-party participant. I'm an observer of what is happening versus actively participating until I get the message that it is time for me to do something or an action that I take comes through clearly. And that is how this call came about. Healing the soul separation to unlock your abundance. Abundance is so much more than anything we can imagine. And that to me is what is so exciting, because things happen that I never could have dreamt up. I say often to my friends and to my clients, we often comment to one another, we couldn't make this stuff up. It's just so much more extraordinary than my imagination has ever provided for me on its own. So if you know and have had these experiences, you know just what I'm talking about. It's pretty amazing. And so today we're here to ask ourselves a few questions to help you to pinpoint what is keeping you separated from your own soul's mastery of light. We are all light, and while we know this, it might be a little bit difficult sometimes for us to really imagine it on a soul level, or even higher than our own couple multidimensional selves can imagine, okay? And that's perfectly fine. That's what keeps it all fun in my mind, is that it's new discovery all of the time. The ahas have moved beyond just, wow, that's amazing. It moves into whole shifts of understanding, beliefs, and how I interact in my own world, which is how you unlock your own abundance, your own experiences, shifting from where you are now into an area, a world, a reality that you could never have even dreamt up for yourself. It goes way beyond a vision board, because a vision board is actually condensed and made linear and made into only what your mind knows or has seen. That is what we replicate, what we have seen or have experienced or what we've noticed others are doing. And then we add that to, yeah, I would like that. What happens when we step into your soul's imagination, your soul's knowing, is that your soul knows and has experienced far more than our third dimensional self. And when this connection occurs, we are able to experience more than anything we knew was available, because we have stepped into the connection where our soul is guiding us and allowing us to know something that is beyond our conscious knowing. It is all about stepping into the great unknown without the fear, the trepidation, or the linear thinking that confines us into what we can experience in our current existence. The question to your own self is, do you want greater spiritual connection in your physical life? That is the time we are in. It's great to study this. It's great to experience it. It is now time to be it, to be the spiritual connection in your physical life. It's like taking all that knowledge and wonder and feeling that we have had by being connected with the light and living that in your everyday physical existence. And that is the application of your spiritual concepts and greater levels of love and light into your physical life. Do you see the need for that? The desire for that? Do you see why that is our next step? It's really amazing what happens in your life when you realize that you are merging knowledge and concepts and greater levels of love and light into your physical life. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not at the point where that's a constant for any of us. We're all still between a third, fourth, and fifth dimensional existence and higher. We aren't relegated to just those. The golden beings of light are 12-dimensional beings. So we are able to access many dimensional existences. What matters is being able to merge those and bring them into your current existence, because you're not separated, you are together and merged with your higher multidimensional selves, which others consider to be light bodies, and it doesn't really matter what we call them. The multidimensional aspect of yourself, it is the process of merging all so that you are the living embodiment of your higher dimensional selves here in the current place that we are experiencing. I was going to say in the third dimension, but really we are not just in a third dimensional existence anymore. And for some, this may be causing more issues. That is not something we're going to talk about today, but it is part of the experience, and then learning how to merge yourself together so that you're not feeling separated in a different way, which is that you can't figure out exactly where you are because you have you're experiencing many multidimensional lives. They're kind of bleeding together, but they're not merged together. And so that's causing another issue. And that is something that we are working with in the Heal Soul Separation through Heart Illumination programs. So what we're talking about today is bringing together, making the declaration that you understand it's about bringing the spiritual connection into your physical life and applying the spiritual concepts and the greater levels of love and light into your physical life. And in doing so, this connection and the independence that it provides you are part of your Lightworker path. And in order to do this, it is about trusting in your instincts about when to get support, when you might need to stand on your own, and trust in your own divine connection. See how that all goes together? Trusting in yourself and in your divine connection are paramount and key to healing the separation from within yourself and with every aspect of you. This may seem like you are chasing your tail, trust me, right? Because you have to have one before the other, but you need the one before you can have the other. That's why. But it is together, actually. You don't do one in order to get the other. That is a linear way of experiencing. It's a linear perspective. We are always living in a cycle. What cycle is running for you? What program is running for you? When they run, it's not a linear program. It's a cycle. And you all know this. I know. I can feel everybody nodding their head. Yes, yes, we understand. It's a cycle that I'm experiencing. Some of the cycles really suck. They're not good. And we know we have to get out of them or stop it in some way. And that's part of what we're going to be doing today when we are speaking with you, is helping you to identify the cycle that you're in, that cycle that is keeping you separate from your soul, your highest dimensional self that you can be merged with, okay? So in order to do this, it is about digging deeper to find out what separated you from being able to trust yourself and to trust God. All is one and the same. That is not separate. You are an aspect of God. You are a creator being of light. But we generally don't really feel that. We may know it in our head. It may make sense to us on some level, but we aren't there yet. We haven't fully embodied what that is, without even feeling maybe sometimes that might be a little egoic or a little bit like, wow, that's really pompous to say, you know, I'm part of God, or I'm God, or that I don't trust in God, or that I do, or all of these things are going on within you. And even if you don't consciously recognize it as such, there is programming within our DNA, within our multidimensional bodies, from memories and traumas that reinforce it, even if it's not the loudest voice in your head, okay? So this is the journey into your soul's highest levels to find the original causes of these separation events, just what I'm talking about. We are looking into the multi-dimensional existences of you that created these schisms, separations, or even just disconnection or kinks. I always think of them as glitches that created some doubt, created a separation of power or belief that you are an aspect of God.
and that you can trust yourself, your own knowing, your own heart instinct versus the instinct of fear that is based in the gut level of instinct. That gut knowing that says, in every movie that we've ever watched that's scary, right? All of us know by the events that are happening prior, we're screaming out to the victim, right? Don't open the door. And that's gut level instinct. Don't open the door. Well, sometimes we take that gut level instinct and we believe that this is what's guiding us along our way to what is in our highest good. But actually, it shuts down our opportunities for abundance because it is from a gut place, that gut fear level instinct versus heart instinct. This is important to you because we will stay in the cycle of the current reality that we are living in if we are unable to connect with our soul level, heart level instinct. That's where we're moving into those levels so that the guidance is no longer fear-based, but it is opportunity-based. It is based on where you are meant to go, to be of highest service to yourself and to others. We are stepping out of the old paradigm of to serve myself is bad. I must only serve others at the expense of myself. That is a very old programming held not just within your DNA, but within your ancestral and genetic lineage. Your ancestral lineage is all of your incarnations, all of your soul's existences. That's your ancestral lineage. Genetic lineage, we all know what that is. That is through all of our incarnation, through our genetic line. So we have several areas, and those are not the only ones, that are running programs that are causing us to be separate from our soul and from our highest knowing for our highest and greatest good. We use these words, highest and greatest good, all of the time. Yet, we may not have the expanded understanding. And here is another caveat to that. As soon as you reach your next level of understanding, the beauty of this is that then you are opening yourself and you're raising your vibration so that you can reach your next level of understanding. It's really amazing what comes through when you have been able to dig out the creation, the events, the issues that started the cycle that you may be stuck in or trapped in. And while we can say very offhandedly, well, just recognize that you're in it, that you're stuck, and just say, I'm not stuck anymore. And you and I both know that just doesn't work. That's great that you've recognized it, but that's not the whole battle. Just like recognizing that you might have an addiction to something. Recognizing it is part of it, absolutely, and is necessary. But then you must do the work in order to free yourself of that addiction. And it is the same with recognizing patterns and cycles that are keeping you stuck and keeping you from being fully connected. We recognize it, we identify it, and then we do the work to reconcile it, remove it, and to raise your vibration so you're not repeating that cycle again and fall back into it. Okay? So the paradigm shift that we are approaching, and in some cases people have entered into, is the shift from Lightworker to Master and Creator of Light. That's what we're talking about, really. It is a title only recently granted. It's only really become known and understood to even the level that we understand it. And I feel like that might be 5%. You know how we're told that we only use 10% of our brain's capability? Well, even understanding that we're moving, this paradigm shift is to move us into our mastery and creator being self of light. It's only about 5%. We're just skimming the surface. It's like the icing on the cake is all we're looking at right now. And that's cool because we know that as we move into that 5%, then the next percentage will be opened for us. So it takes sometimes a mass collective moving into that 5% so that we can then open the next 5%. People don't generally do this on their own, but you must do it for yourself first and then add to the collective. So again, it's that cycle of chasing the tail, right? But the point is, just like as in you must serve yourself before you can serve others, the same concept. You must open and connect with your own ability, your own soul's light, in order to help others do the same, to help the collective do the same, in order for us to create enough, stabilize at that higher vibration, to then open our next level of understanding and being the creator of light, master of light that we are. We have been granted this access, these openings, portal openings, and the doorways that we walk through for each of ourselves on our own journey, because we are willing to embrace this aspect of ourselves, the willingness to help others and our planet, our animals, all of the beings that are part of this existence. That is why this next piece has opened, and we are readily and happily moving forward into it. It is time to consciously recognize the being of light that you are, leaving behind the ego of the lower mind and the hurts of the 3D heart and the emotional body, and connecting through your high heart to the cosmic heart of Christ consciousness, and merging your light with your soul's light. You are no longer separate. It is about healing that individuation and becoming, merging with your wholeness, right? That's how we become whole. And as we make this ultimate connection, we experience the alchemy of light, being light, and seeing all things as the convergence of light as vibration. The effects are to become the conscious creator of your experiences in your life, allowing you to take and make great leaps forward in the moment. The world you thought you knew can suddenly shift, allowing a new world to become your reality. So I want to offer you, before we get to the questions, that if this resonates with you and you feel it in your heart, I invite you to join my current live Heal the Soul Separation Through Heart Illumination, my current live program that is going on right now. You can still join us at uanow.net/heart illumination, uanow.net/heart illumination, ILLUMINATION, all one word. And I hope you will consider joining us. The more of us that do, the greater the level of work that is provided and channeled, because we raise the vibration of the group, allowing all of us to be able to access even more than we can on our own. And I'm offering with this, if you join by the end of this time together today, let's say, 15 minutes after, that you will get the Path to Prosperity program. The value of that program is $300, and it is amazing, just helping you to focus on what it is you're wanting to create. And you will get that automatically when you sign up. And you won't even see that information on the page because it is special for this call. Okay? So now I'm going to move on into the work that I want to connect you with today in answering the question being answered for you today is, what is keeping you or interfering with and causing the separation from your highest vibration so you can be the creator of your abundant life? So that is our question for today. So we will just see what happens for each person. I will connect with you and see in the multidimensional what we're able to see for what is next for you that needs healing, reconciling, removing, whatever it is, so that we can help to move you out of the cycle you may be experiencing so that you can start moving into your next highest level. For all of us, it is about moving into our next highest level, okay? We want to be able to provide for you what steps you need to take in order to help you to open yourself, to get beyond what we generally get hung up on, which is something that's right in our immediate face, right? What is bothering us? What is causing us pain? What is causing us problems? And so we've spent a lot of time on beliefs and limitations in the past, and we did because we had to go through that phase in order to raise the vibration high enough for a group of people to move forward to open this next opening. So you may still have limitations and issues that need to be resolved that were creating the cycle that you're experiencing. And that's what we're looking at moreover than just a limitation or belief. We're looking for the issues that keep the cycles in place, even with all the work that you have done. So if you've done a lot of work and you're still experiencing the same thing, it's because there's going to be a larger cycle running that was created by a separation event, is what I call them. Created by a trauma, an original trauma. I kind of laugh because I feel like it's the original sin that is taught about in Christianity. And what is meant by that, if you look at it in an allegory form, what it means is there are going to be original traumas, decisions, issues that created then the outcome, the program, the cycle that you're experiencing. And so the only way to reconcile and to remove the cycle is to find the original linchpin moment, event, thoughts, feelings that created it. I hope that makes sense. And as I do this work, and even when I do my live shows and my programs and my individual client work, what happens is that each one of us gets what we need at whatever level that you are at. So for each person, as we are connecting with them and we've joined this as a group together, when I first started, I saw the entire group just being awash in golden, high vibrational light, connecting each one of our hearts and our souls to the highest vibration of God, calling in all of your guides, all the celestial masters and the highest vibrational light beings to assist us. And when we do this and we join and hold this level of energy, it is working to assist you to heal even as I'm talking, even as each one of us are just together. That is the beauty of where we are in an energetic field together. We're able to open and accept healing, higher vibrational knowledge and understanding. So as we work with each person, you're going to get even more because we're specifically honing in on something. So even if it doesn't resonate in your mind or what you think is going on for you, I can almost assure you that you will get something out of it. It could be a blessing, right? Many people open this call today saying, blessings, and it really touched my heart today in a different way than ever before. Now I'm getting like shivers all the way up to my head because that is what we are doing here together. We are calling in the highest vibration of blessing for each and every one of us. So that to me is just, it's why we do this. This is why I do the work I do. Because there are never-ending amounts of blessings that I am open and willing to accept because I know that my soul and my being aligned with my soul and having my heart connection open with my soul is how I know that when I am offered a blessing, that it is in my highest and best good, because my soul is allowing it and offering it to me, because I am in alignment with my soul. I am not separate. So I don't have to worry, oh my goodness, is this really for my best? I should be worried about this. This could be some entity or energy trying to trick me. While those are true things and are out there and we are energetically under attack, when you are in alignment with your soul, that is no longer a concern, because you can feel through your heart's intuition, your soul's intuition, if this is something for you or not. Okay, so it's just another next level of knowingness that occurs for us. Okay, everybody take a deep breath. So in how I work, if you're unfamiliar, what happens is I ask for all of us to sort of go into that theta brainwave state, which is a semi-consciousness state. And we do this very easily by closing your eyes and rolling your eyeballs up toward your eyebrows. With your eyes closed, your eyelids can flutter a little, and that's fine. So roll your eyeballs like halfway up toward your eyebrows. And you just take 3 deep breaths, allowing your conscious mind to switch over into that theta brainwave state. And this is the easiest and fastest way to get into a meditative state. It's fantastic, and it works really quickly. And the more that you practice this, you can literally do it then without having to roll your eyeballs up and go into the 3 deep breaths. You're just there just by knowing you are. You know the feeling of what it is to switch into that other consciousness state. Okay, so that's what we're all going to do, and we're going to continue to hold and be part of this greater collective of this golden light that we've created here today by being together. And we have got a full panel of people on both the web and on the phones, and again, I'm just so delighted that you're here. So we're going to take our first caller calling in from Burns Lake, British Columbia, looks like. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, who is this?
This is Marianne.
Hi, Marianne. How are you today?
I'm good. What's keeping me separated from my highest vibration so that I can be the creator of my abundant life?
Thank you for asking. All right, so we have 2 things that pop straight out. First is stepping into a higher vibration of honesty with yourself. So if we step out of our 3rd dimensional understanding of honesty, right, and instead we look into what is our heart's honesty versus that 3rd dimensional gut honesty. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if you, with your eyes closed and rolled up, when I ask you, what is the higher honesty I need to have with myself? You don't have to share if you don't want to. Do you get an answer? Or do you feel that there's nothing, like it's just quiet?
What I'm hearing is raising your standards.
Okay. And so does that have a 3rd dimensional application for you in your own mind? Like when you say that, do you understand it?
Yes. I'm just wondering because, like, it's in my DNA DNA and maybe soul pattern as well, where settling for less than I deserve and just tolerating that situation, like being in survival.
Yeah. Okay. And so when we ask for what is keeping you from being able to attain this higher level of honesty with yourself, we are unplugging that status quo of just staying in the situation you're in, right? That's a cycle. And it's a program that says, well, it's comfortable and it's, it's like that old saying, the devil that I know, right? So there's a reason that's a saying. It's because sometimes the unknown could be scarier and it could not have the immediate effect that we're hoping for, of course, right? So the second piece that I mentioned that popped up straight away was about not having the clarity and the understanding that you need. So interesting how the 2 go together. Do you see how they're supporting one another?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have two programs supporting each other. All right. I'm going to do a healing at the end because I have many hands up and many people in the chat. So what I want to do is provide a clearing and an activation for two things, okay? Because it will help you and it's going to help everybody else. Because let's be honest, everybody, to some degree, has those cycles running. All right, so cycle of honesty, and I'm going to put truth, okay? Honesty and truth with self. So we want to release ourselves from a third dimensional cycle of what that is, right? The cycle in the programming. And we want to open our highest truth. That's really what we're talking about here. Yes? Does that feel right?
Yes.
What happens when we're focusing on our highest truth, the clarity and understanding will fall into alignment, but also you won't get stuck in the overanalyzation of the situation that's happening and all the fears and things that get triggered, because that's where our focus is. If we're focusing on, open for me my highest truth and honesty and understanding, when that becomes our focus, our pathway opens up for it, and I'm seeing it like right now, seeing it to where, if you think about it, being able to jump over the current situation, because it's almost like asking for that bridge over it so that you can connect with your highest truth, understanding. So that opens us then with our clarity and understanding on a higher level. So write it down for yourself, because when I'm going to do this group work shortly, I will invite everyone, this is for everybody, I will invite you to write down what comes to you as I'm talking with each person, because things will trigger in our own self that we know, oh my goodness, that is something that I feel too, right? It resonates, and so I want that too. So I just want each person, keep your own list as we go along of things you're going to specifically request. So the importance even with you asking the question in the beginning is you're asking it at your energetic level, which is your entryway, your key to being able to find what the issue is and move into healing and reconciling it so that it can be dismantled in this case. Like I see it falling over like a wall, just boom, because this has created great walls for you, this piece. Okay? Whew, how's that feel?
Thank you.
There's healing going on even now, just seeing the bridge and seeing the walls come down. So the healing is already starting for you and everyone else who's bringing up this issue or feels that this is a cycle running for you. So just so everybody knows, just by what I'm being shown, I can see that the process is in play. So when we do the work later, that will continue and move quicker and then move you to your next piece. Okay? Well, I'm glad that resonates and that helps give you clarity. And now just be open to the blessings and the healing that's going to be provided for you. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Hello?
Hi. This is Destiny.
Hi, Destiny. How are you?
It's so nice to talk to you. Thank you so much for answering my call. I feel I'm getting psychically attacked. And I mean, this has been happening for a while. And I'm sensitive, like I'm a sensitive person, so it's like really throwing me off my game big time. Yeah.
Okay. So when you say psychically attacked, as I said, this is true, right? This happens. But what happens is raising your vibration so that isn't happening and you aren't falling prey. So what it tells me and what I see is, I've always called it Swiss cheese. You look at an energetic field, and sometimes people's energetic fields look frazzled to me. Like as if they just stuck their fingers in a light socket and it's like, okay? And
it's because the person that's doing it is actually sending black magic attacks, and with that's coming entities. So they're sending beings with it, and it's like messing with so I'm like constantly getting attacked, and I'm constantly clearing entities.
All right. And so this is a perfect case. And I'll tell you why. It's an opportunity for a couple of things. I was getting to Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese is the energetic field where there are holes in your energetic field all the way up to your soul, okay? So it looks like Swiss cheese to me, like where you can see that there are areas that need to be brought together, okay? So we are open to more psychic attacks when our whole energetic field is not cohesive and in oneness, and or frazzled, or both, because obviously in our day and age we are definitely both. Okay, but in your particular case, and this person, quote unquote, it's about healing and reconciling the other multidimensional existences that you have had with this person. Not necessarily just what's occurred in this current life. That's just a reminder that there are issues from other existences together. And healing those rifts in time, I hear, that were created when the two of you were in each other's lives. So for you, that would mean that we have to reconcile the rift, okay? Whenever we have a rift that has been created, it has to be balanced, right? We have to rebalance it in order for the consequences to be mitigated. That's what I hear. So,
okay.
Whew, that's a good one. That's me. but this is the part of Old Souls that is true, is so true on so many levels, that we've had some very higher other multidimensional existences where we were involved in big stuff. And, when we talk about galactic level things in this case. And so when a rift of time happens, it's not just time as in time as we know it. It's changing the course of history for something. It's pretty big stuff for you here.
Yeah,
so,
wow.
So part of what happens in your current life is it keeps you from being able to do that again. I hear it keeps you from acting up again. How's that for, okay, I want to say
it's feeling like,
go ahead.
It's keeping me from moving forward is what it's doing. It's keeping me from moving forward.
Yes, and it keeps you from being able to reconnect with your gifts and abilities and powers.
Exactly.
So that you can't mess it up again. Exactly. So it serves a purpose, okay, while you feel like, it's super annoying, right? But the greater purpose, this is what we're talking about with digging out the greater issue, okay? The greater issue here is that in another existence, yes, the screw-up was big, and you've been separated from your powers and your gifts since then, so you don't do it again until you consciously make amends and reconcile it and do what you need to do in order to bring that into balance again, and then this will stop, and then you'll be able to do the cleanup, and it stays. Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm trying to do that. I've been doing so much healing work, I just don't even know what more I could possibly do.
Because it's on a multidimensional level that you are not yet able to reach on your own. That's the point. Is that Are
you able to help?
I am able to help, and but that we're going to have to do that that would be a private session for sure, because what we're looking at is totally, it's not a zip zap situation, but it also tells me that on this galactic level that we're talking about, it tells us a lot about you and your old soulness. So, right? And so that's for all the people here that go, gosh, I have done so much work, and I hear this so often. People go, God, I've done so much work. How much more could there be? And the answer is, it's at a level that you have not yet been able to reach. And so you keep doing the work, asking these greater questions so that you can get to where that is. It's not going to be on this third dimensional, fourth or fifth dimension where everybody's focused. That's not where the issue lies. The issue lies, like I said, it's a galactic thing, and it's not in this, let's just say, not in this universe, but it has effectively cut you off from your greater
Okay,
self.
what we're getting to, you're going to offer a package. Is this what I need, or do I need something else? Like, to get the help that I need? Go ahead, please.
So, we would look in and see what you need and find out from your higher self, and it's packaged for you. Does that make sense? Because in this work, it is about the trajectory for each and every one of us is to connect with our highest and greatest vibration, to reconnect to our powers and our gifts, and be awarded even more, okay? So, I may have started out on my journey 20 years ago, and obviously from where I started 20 years ago to where I am now, I never would have recognized who I am now. When I first began opening my gifts, I would used to say, oh, I can do that again, okay, because I recognized it on an energetic level that I always knew how to do it, but I just didn't have access to it, and that's where you are right now. I know I can do more, I just don't have access, okay? Well, after you get through that period, then as you raise your vibration, you get even more gifts, and then it's just, oh, cool, look at that. I wonder what this does. And so it changes the trajectory once again. So for all of us, we are being given that opportunity to move into our greatest connection and aspect of our soul. Our soul is given greater gifts and access to even more as it becomes evolved, as it evolves more and more. So it's a never-ending path. But
you're giving me hope.
As we go.
You're giving me hope. You're definitely giving me hope.
There is. It's so much more fun. And the things that happen in our everyday life don't have the same effect on us. And it doesn't keep us down for years and years as it has in our current time. Instead, you see it for what it is and you move on. It's hard to describe, but truly it becomes transparent. The illusion of what we're going through here takes on a whole different thing. You just see it for what it is, and you're like, okay, and how do I move through this? And then that's the answer that's given. Just like everybody's asking, this is our question for today, how do I move through this? Well, here you are. Here's your next big piece. So, all right, love.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yep.
Many blessings to everyone.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for the blessings. All right, sweetheart. We'll put you back on mute. I think now she's muted. All right, so star 2, everyone who wants to have me look in for you to see what is going on. That was really amazing, Destiny. Thank you, because that helped raise us all to just a greater level to even understand and to provide this understanding for people that the issues that we're experiencing in our current life did not start here. They're reinforced here, okay? And so that's a perfect example of that understanding, that the issue with this person and with these psychic attacks did not start here, but it is continuing here until you resolve the original issue, okay? So that's super, super exciting. All right, the next in line is Dana from Montana. So Dana, ask yourself the question, what is keeping me separated from my highest vibration, thereby keeping me from being the creator of my abundant life? All right, so close your eyes and roll them up, everyone, and ask yourself this question. And it very clearly jumps right out as if, like on a cartoon character where they have the bubble above their talk bubble above their head, and it says, I'm sabotaging myself. And so now we offer you the understanding that sabotaging yourself is not what you think. When you connect with the highest aspects of yourself, this is, I see a rubber band. That's interesting. It's like an old-time exercise machines. I think it used like a band that ran around your middle and it vibrated, and it was supposed to help people lose weight, I think. But the point of this is not necessarily a machine, but the visual that I'm seeing is that if you disconnect yourself from the old thoughts of the way something you thought was going to work, okay, so I guess that's the purpose of this machine. I don't think that they're even in existence anymore. This old way of, if we vibrate this area of the body, it will cause it, the metabolism to rise, and that's going to cause it to burn fat, and that's how you're going to lose weight. So the idea here is that the sabotage is keeping you in the old way of thinking, and you keep at it, thinking that it's going to work eventually. Like, if I just keep doing this same thing, it's going to work. And that's the sabotage. That is the focus for you. So the highest question for you is, what happens if you don't rely on the old thinking anymore? What are you afraid of? Why do you not trust it? Thinking that if you do it enough, it will eventually work. That if I do the same thing over and over, it will work. So that we can include them in the healing we're going to do here. So the real question is trusting yourself. Why do you not trust yourself? And open yourself to a higher vibrational understanding and way of doing things. All right, sweetie. So tell me, go ahead and ask your questions so we can connect and get us on the correct trajectory for what we're looking for you today.
All right. My main situation is I have tried since almost a year old to conquer everything and believe I have a degree of success in it. I have been labeled a way shower, and I've written 5 books on this, but received very little response. It seems everything I start gets stopped or or just ignored. In what am I doing or not doing that I can move? And I have never charged for anything I've done. Do I not feel worthy? Or I have no idea where I am.
Okay. So your question for today is, what is keeping me or interfering with me, causing my separation from my highest vibration, so I can be the creator of my abundant life? Because it'll come out in that question, okay? Everything is about the question, as you know. So there are several things just from what you said, but I want to focus on the higher question, okay? Because when we're looking at the situation in our current life and we're trying to find the answer to that question, and that question that's based on, what we're experiencing, what happens is we're not at a vibration to see over it, under it, around it. Instead, we're focused on the problem, which only magnifies the problem, and we're still not able to see with any clarity or receive information because our focus is on that question. And many times in healing, as you know, and I say as you know, not in a reprimanding way, you do know this, but you have begun to lose faith in your own self is what I hear. And so what happens, and by asking this broader question that seems broader, we're actually looking for what's interfering with you being that way shower, right? We're in creating the ripples of love and light that you are meant to create, right? So
yes.
That's the really bigger question. It's not, I totally understand, why are people not resonating? I've done all this work, et cetera, et cetera. I get it. But when we focus on that, there's not an answer, because the question has to be about what's keeping us from being aligned with our heart and our soul, so that we bypass and see through the illusion of what you're looking at currently and experiencing currently, okay? So I hope that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
And, all right, so just roll your eyes up for me, take your 3 deep breaths, and together we're just going to access and ask what is keeping you separate, okay? Okay, so you're running several cycles. The first that I was shown has to do with the mind, okay? The mind, and I don't know why, but it showed it to me like your mind. It's not spinning in chaos, but imagine seeing a brain like on a TV program, and you know how they slowly spin it around? So what happens is, although you are connected, the mind aspect of yourself actually sits in governance above you. And what that means to me, what they're giving me as the understanding, is that your mind, it's almost like you're separated even from your mind. It holds this. If you could see me, you'd see my hands are above my head. It's pretty hilarious, but it's because I'm trying to describe it as I see it. So your mind has to be not made sovereign. Your mind is not sovereign. It's part of the whole, okay? It doesn't have the ultimate ruling. It doesn't have the supreme knowledge. And so it's kind of interesting, because it's almost like, I want to say, you feel like you've overcome the mind and the pull of the mind. And in fact, actually, it's separated. So it's sort of like the goal is to merge your mind, as I just spoke about earlier, merging your mind with your higher mind, and merging your heart, your high mind with the, soul aspect of you, and with the cosmic aspect of those things. So it's kind of like the separation is that your mind is operating on its own, but it's operating outside of, and therefore it's, I'm going to say it's sabotaging you. You can only go so far, and if I were to give you like feet and inches above your self, your mind is outside of, and so that tells me that you need to work on this merging. So what created that separation? That's what we're looking for. How is it that your mind, because I want to say it's unknown to you, like it doesn't feel like that exactly to you, but it doesn't change the fact that your mind is up there. Imagine ping pong or tennis, and every time something that you're attempting to do, you put it out there, and you're like, I put it out there, right? Because it's in that space between you and your mind, and it goes out there, and your mind swats it back. Does that make sense? And so that's the sabotaging cycle that's going on. We have to bring all of you together. I mean, this sounds crazy, but there you are. How's that feel?
What I got when you were talking to the others was a recall when I was, maybe 17, of my being with my mother, and I stopped to ask directions, and the people accepted me so great, and everything was wonderful. But when I got back to the car, my mother said, "You think everyone loves you. Well, they don't." I'm wondering if that is what I need to get over. I thought I did.
And that is a mind. Did you just hear yourself? I thought and I'm thinking.
Uh-huh.
this work is about the heart, and the heart has to be in charge. Your heart has to come over your mind. So when your mind stays in the supreme spot, your heart, even though working, is not in charge. Your mind is. And by your mind having this elevated position, it is swatting right back. So even in this, like, the message to you is that your mind is sabotaging you and is sending back what you're sending out there, okay? And so even in giving you the information, you swatted it right back to something that has occurred in your current life. And here is the separation, okay? It's that your mind cannot be separate. We cannot move into our master of light self, our creator of light beingness, when we're separate in any way. It's the whole purpose of this call, is to find where we're separate and what needs to be brought in alignment and reconnected. So the real question is, why is your mind supreme? Why has it separated itself as the ultimate ruler of you? That's the question. And asking what event created this separation, because it didn't happen in this life, guaranteed, 150%. This comes from a mind meld. That's what I hear. Fascinating. Don't even know what that is. But a mind meld that happened that created a separation for you. So it's going in and reconciling. I mean, these are, okay, I'm going to just share this with you, sweetie, and everyone on the call. I don't think I have ever done a live call where we have been able to, or even talked about things that are this intense, okay? Because this is really intense. This is stuff that I do in my private client work, where we really are digging out these higher multidimensional existences where the separations really have occurred, okay? So this is positive for everybody. It tells us, great things about the people here and this group and where we are, too, as a community. So that's all positive. So for you, it is reconciling how that was brought into effect, okay? And it's a control mechanism, but the control that it has is that it keeps you separated. Does that make sense? But do not worry, because we have it here and it's being recorded, and you will be able to listen again to it. But more importantly, again, we're not in the mind, so it's okay that it's not written down, because we've already touched on it, we've opened it, we're asking for the healing, and when we do the healing and clearing, I want you just to say, and everybody here, the truth is this, another truth, is that we've consciously identified it, yes? We've energetically identified it, so it's identified. So when we do the healing and clearing, this is where you're just going to say, download replay, and that is going to activate what it is for you that needs to be, to begin the process. Your process, much like Destiny's prior, we're talking older, galactic, universal, other galaxy stuff. And it kind of reminds me of the Wizard of Oz, where the wizard behind the curtain scenario. So you have to find out how that separation occurred, so that it's not working with you, it's sort of working against you. Okay? So, but let's by all means get to as much of it and to start that process as we can. Okay?
Okay.
I hope that helps you, sweetheart.
And is there any way I can continue with you to totally improve this?
Yes, I want you to email me at Gabrielle@GabrielleSpencer.com. So everybody, if you want to talk about working with me privately, please send me an email, Gabrielle, GABRIELLE, at GabrielleSpencer.com, SPENCER. So that would be, and then we would get together and connect and find out what that looks like for you, okay? That's how we like to roll, is to get everybody what it is that they need. It's not about doing healing work forever, right? It's about continually raising our vibration, and that takes on a whole new energetic, as I described earlier, once we get through these pieces that are keeping you separate from your power and your abilities and really embodying that creator self. All right, sweetheart, big love to you. Big love to you, because when this does get reconciled, you will be the rock star you remember. And that's pretty cool, because you have a lot to offer.
Thank you,
okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Thank you for being here today. All right, I'm going to put you back on the hold, or mute. Here we go. All right. I'm going to just hop over to our chat line. I'm putting out in the chat box the email address, Gabrielle@GabrielleSpencer.com. And to go to the program page, there should be a button. If you can go to uanow.net/Heart Illumination. And the next one in our chat box is April, and she says she would appreciate knowing the answer for her as well. So April, I would appreciate it if you would close your eyes and roll your eyeballs up. And, all right. So there is some layering of things. As with everyone, I want to say that really clearly. We all have layers of things going on. So there are going to be, things that are immediately available, and then there are some underlying things that are supporting those programs as well. So as we've kind of been talking about the whole time. So in this, April, I get for you some emotional issues, feeling abandoned, alone, emotionally. I'm going to go with hot and cold. And it's almost like, very, very loving and giving, and then you get hurt and you pull completely back. And so it kind of makes you emotionally unavailable in a way. And it has to do, too, with trusting your own emotions. So we're back to trust, right? This is about us being able to trust ourselves, trust our emotions, trust our thoughts, trust that we're in alignment with our heart and soul's vibration and our highest vibrational good, right? So for you, the emotional issues triggered then a lack of trust, not just for yourself, but for those, people who come into your life and what you're doing, and then perpetuating not knowing or having clarity and direction. And the way to have clarity and direction in this case, and for most of us, is to work on the bigger question, which is what created this separation of trust. Trust in yourself, trust in others, trust in God, trust in your ability to have clarity, direction, and understanding, and knowing. This is a really big one for you, is not being able to trust your gut, let's say, not being able to trust how you feel because it gets you in trouble. But as in the Heart Illumination program, we talked about this in the first master class, and it's knowing and being able to be attuned with your heart's intuition versus your gut, your fear-based intuition. Like everybody will say, I had a gut feeling that, okay? And that is really your first, second, third chakra, fear-based, third-dimensional programming of what's going to keep you safe or what you think you should do as your best answer. But again, then it invokes too your emotions and your mind and your subconscious memories for what's going to keep you safe, or out of the choices that you have, which one might be the best choice, right? And that's all you can see, because again, we're looking directly at the problem that you're experiencing versus being able to raise your vibration high enough to see over that problem and ask the greater question, okay? And that's exactly what we're doing today. We're looking past the direct question of what's going on in your life, where it may be lack or struggle, or I don't have financial abundance, I have poor health. It's about looking for that greater question, which reminds me that I was speaking with one of the women in the Heart Illumination program just yesterday, and she currently has cancer. And she was asking if something in her current life was the reason that she had cancer. And I responded to her in the same way that we're talking today, which is, what is the greater question? It is not that something in your current life is causing it. We're looking for the original reasons that something is occurring or reoccurring for you, to remind you that there are issues held on a different, other, higher, lower, multidimensional existence that have to be reconciled. And so when we did this process, the answer was that she's closed off her gifts. And, plus there are many layers, right? So there's an emotional reason, but the underlying is that she doesn't trust her own gifts and abilities. So she just relies on her mind to be able to provide for her the answers of how she should proceed, and it's also kept her very limited. But what's interesting is that in her current life, the cancer has affected her brain. And so it's very fascinating when you look at it from this higher question perspective. What is really keeping me separate? And it's not that her mind in this case is keeping her separate. It's that she totally relies on her mind because she doesn't trust her gifts, abilities, and her own power of light. Okay? So I hope that gives everybody a broader understanding. Okay. Back to the phone lines. I hope that helped you, April. It's going to help everybody because, as you can see, all of us in some way, shape, or form are experiencing these things. Hello? Hi there.
Hello?
Who is with me?
Okay, right. I'm Donna.
Hi, Donna. Wonderful to meet you and connect with you.
Thank you. With you too.
All right. So go ahead. Do you have the question? All right. So good. This is an area we haven't gotten into so much today, and it has to do with self-love and feeling wanted and feeling like you belong. So for you, and not just you, self-love, self-acceptance is a really big thing for all of us, even if it doesn't rear its head as the main issue, if that makes sense. It's an underlying program for us as we have reincarnated on this planet in this dimension. It carries its own programming of self-love, self-worth, being wanted, feeling like we belong, issues, okay, because that's just running in this paradigm in our DNA anyway.
Okay.
In this case, the self-love and feeling wanted and as if you belong is because you feel shunned, like as if you could be, so I'm seeing an old memory, actually, they're showing me. So it looks like a cave, and not like as if you're a cave person, but caveman or woman, but I want to go like more in the era of Judea, of the time of Christ, in, when people were shunned and sent to go live outside of community.
Okay.
But even in this particular memory, it's almost like you were shunned not just from the community at large, but actually you were shunned from the community that you were shunned with originally. Oh, my God.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't normally laugh, but that is, wow. So I guess this would explain why you feel really unaccepted.
Well, and, it's funny because I've been working so much with loving myself. I've been listening to Matt Kahn, and that's all he talks about is loving yourself pretty much.
Right.
And it hasn't really seemed to make a dent.
Right. Because, like I said, we're looking at it from a multidimensional perspective versus what's currently happening in your life. When we look at it this way, we're looking for the areas that created separation and that may even have reinforced it, because that's not your original cause of separation, that I can tell you. But it is like the next, the next big blooper sign of, okay, this one has to be released in order for us to get to the next, whatever it is. Does that make sense? Sometimes it has to be done in a layered way. Like, we can't see the original until we take care of some other things sometimes. So in this case, though, and even for the laughing, is because, like, if I could only show you the vision, right? I say this often. I wish I had a cam for my third, fourth dimensional eye, fifth dimensional, whatever. It's like, I wish I could give it to you, because you would laugh with me. You're standing on the ledge. It's probably about, let's say, 150 feet from the entrance. And you've been barred from the entrance, but you're standing apart, and you yourself are in complete disbelief. And at the same time, like, you're scared, and it's creating all these other issues for you, right? You don't know what to do. You feel abandoned and alone, and, what did I ever do? What's wrong with me? And so all of these things are not just being created, but it's creating its own cycle right there, like in this moment that I'm seeing. And it makes me like, wow, that really sucks. Wow, that's pretty harsh. So for you, it is about, I'm going to ask for the deeper, not just the event, but what it is. Let's just do this right now, because I'm not being given it. So what it tells me and what I'm hearing is that we are actually going to do this healing right now. So everybody who has been dealing with self-love, which is all of us, and abandonment, and feeling left out in the cold, and completely directionless, and wondering how to survive, because that's really the issue here. Like, it dawns on you like you're out in the middle of the desert with nothing and no community. So we're going to reconcile this whole piece.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I want everybody just to roll up your eyes. So let's take this opportunity, everyone, to take this particular issue, because it is such an important one, and we want to help move people through their traumas and issues so that we can get to the deeper issue for them. Okay? So let's roll our eyes up. Close your eyes, roll your eyeballs up toward your eyebrows. Take 3 deep breaths, everyone. Allowing yourself to go into the theta brainwave state. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to play music. You can lower your phones if it's too loud, or your internet. Here we go. All right. Everybody take a deep breath. Bring yourselves back. We got into some big stuff while we were out there. Take a deep breath. All right. So now how do you feel about I belong?
It feels possible now.
Good. How about I love myself?
Yes. I cried in the middle of that music. I felt like an arrow pierced my heart, and I just started crying, but I just kept saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. And after a while, I stopped crying.
It's just a memory. When I said we got into a lot of things, we went for everyone, for being shunned or disengaged or excommunicated, exiled from our homes, our families, our loved ones, our communities. I mean, so we really went deep with that, but then we went also into feeling shunned and separated from God. And so I would be willing to bet it probably happened in that space. And we did it on an ancestral and genetic level as well, because it's been something that's been carried down for you. And so in doing that work, of course, and calling everybody's higher self to be involved. So some good movement as well as karma being released on these other multidimensional levels, and forgiveness. So a whole lot happens when I'm on the other side and just being given what, I'm the conduit for. So a lot is happening for each and every one of us. So allow the energy to continue to move through, okay?
Okay.
It'll continue to release things, and then, that'll be your question for the next piece for yourself, okay? And that'll continue to, light your way, all right?
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome, sweetie. As much as I wanted to get to everybody, we're not going to be able to because the recording is going to stop. So I want to do our overall healing. The last one was really perfect, but I was told while I was over there, I had, of course, thought, well, let's just do everything while we're over here. But I was asked to just specifically work on the self-love, that forgiveness of self and of God and family and all that was just really important to do. So we did. And so now I want to do what I promised, which is that we're going to work to assist each and every one of us to shed the parts that we've talked about so far today. And so as I just was speaking about with Donna, was that this energy and the healing and what is being done here will continue to assist you. And I again hope that you will reach out and be intuitive, using your heart intuition to join me in my current program or to work with me individually. I would love to connect with you. And I have given that information for how to do that by emailing me. You can just even reply on the email that was sent to you to join this call today and let me know that you'd like to set up a time, and we will do that. Or go out to uanow.net/Heart Illumination and join the current live program that is going on. But we have a pop-up call, so that'll be really amazing. And that's something that I do based on information I've given from the Golden Beings of Light. And being connected is just that tomorrow in that call, it's time to work on merging the paradigm shifts that are happening and allowing ourselves to shift into that next level and integrating everything that needs to be. And there will be some activations done in that call to help us to do that. And tomorrow is the 2/2/20 as well, which is also carrying its own significant weight in new energies that are available. All right, so with that said, let's quickly get to our healing for what we've talked about today, and whatever it is that is for your highest and best good is what we are requesting. All right, so if everyone will, just close your eyes and roll your eyeballs up toward your eyebrows, taking your 3 deep breaths and switching over, allowing your brain to switch into the theta brainwave state, giving your permission. I am willing and able to receive all that is in my highest and best good with an open heart and open mind, and in full willingness to connect my heart, my mind, and my soul. gently come back. Allow your physical self, your spirit self, to be brought together and to be grounded into your current reality. Filling yourself with the highest vibration of golden love and light. Opening your heart, feeling and knowing the highest vibration of God's love and light as you are supported, encouraged, and assisted in creating your highest vibrational life of happiness, peace, joy, love, purpose, and financial abundance. I am so excited that you have been here with me to share this time. I have so loved and enjoyed connecting with you, and I hope to continue to meet with you and connect with you as we all journey together into this great exploration of the known and unknown and yet undiscovered. This is an exciting time. I hope you feel it and experience it in the most positive way. Thank you very much. I send you love and light. Namaste. Everybody have a wonderful day. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us on the SoulScape.tv show. Go to SoulScape.tv to access the many free gifts from our guests and for more great masterclasses and panelist discussions.